What's up, everybody? This is Jay the Wanderer with Oakland Latinos Unidos, aka Oakland Latinos United, the voice of the Latino community in the Bay Area, California, YouTube, and beyond. Well, I'm on here with a new video for you to enjoy, and I'm pretty sure all of you out there are already aware that Michael Jackson has passed on. Michael Jackson passed away June 25th, last Thursday, in Los Angeles, California, I guess of cardiac arrest or a heart attack or something or other, but yeah, it is pretty sad that he passed away, and shocking and surprising, because, man, I never thought I would see the day that Michael Jackson would pass away anytime soon. I would think Michael Jackson, being as famous and popular and as rich as he is, I thought that man was going to live to be 100, but, he died an untimely death. Basically, they said he was doing a lot of prescription pills, or I'm not sure. I'm not too sure what happened. I'm not going to try to get into the whole details of his death, but I will talk about basically about his legacy and how this man is a living legend, whether you want to admit it or not. The reason I'm showing you this picture right here is because this is Thriller. Thriller was the first album I ever owned of Michael Jackson. I actually had this on record back in like 83 or 84. I was like 6 or 7 years old, and my mom bought me this album because I really wanted it. It was the first album I ever owned in my life, and it was a Michael Jackson album. Ironically, the first music video I've ever seen in my life was a Michael Jackson video. It was Beat It. The first time I had ever seen a music video. And this is actually the first album I ever owned of Michael Jackson. I mean, I used to love this album. The music on this album was the shit. You know what I mean? It was tight. Billie Jean. Gotta Be Starting Something, PYT, Thriller, who can't forget those songs, you know what I mean? Especially if you grew up with them, like me. When I hear these songs, it takes me back, to another time, another place, you know what I mean? Another whole generation, So Michael Jackson, he was a big influence in my childhood and in my life to some degree, because I grew up liking his music, and I always respected him as an artist, because you gotta admit, man, there is no artist out there that has done what Michael Jackson has done. I mean, I don't care who it is. There is not one artist that I know of, and if you know of any, let me know, but there is not one artist out there that has been as famous as Michael Jackson. I mean, Michael Jackson has been popular all over the world. I mean, they probably know about Michael. They're probably listening to Michael Jackson's music in some little village in Africa somewhere, or some little village in outer Mongolia, or some little tiny unknown village in Mexico. You know what I mean? Or somewhere in Paris, or some neighborhood in China, in Japan. All over the world. Michael Jackson is known. I have never seen an artist that people just go fucking nuts over. Basically, like, if you ever seen videos of his concerts, like, ladies go crazy, even some men too, girls passing out crying just by the very presence of Michael Jackson. So I mean, you gotta admit, whether you liked Michael Jackson or didn't, whether you thought he was strange or normal or whatever you thought of the man, you cannot deny the fact that he was a great artist, period. You know what I mean? He was a great artist. I mean, he basically moved the world with his music, and that's not a lie. He's a true living legend of our time, a living music legend, and the crazy thing about Michael Jackson is it don't matter what genre of music you like. You could like country, you could like rap, you could like Spanish music, you could like salsa merengue, you could like jazz, whatever, you know what I mean, rock, any type of music, but still like Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? I knew some of the toughest, most hardcore people in the neighborhood that would listen to Michael Jackson's music. I mean, that's how much charisma and how much style and just how much popularity Michael Jackson had. And, yeah, it is pretty crazy that he passed away, And, yeah, it tripped me out when I heard he died. I was like, damn, Michael Jackson died, huh? But then when, I started realizing how popular he was, and everything he did, to move, basically how his music influenced everyone. No matter what walk of life you came from, it really amazed me, you know what I mean? An African-American male from the U.S. who came from nothing. He came from nothing. He was poor. He had what, like 10. He had like 10 siblings. You know what I mean? Joe Jackson and Katherine Jackson had like 10 kids. You know, including Latoya, Jermaine, Tito, and Janet, of course. And there's a few others. I can't remember their names, but yeah, you know, Michael Jackson was tight. You know what I mean? And it's sad that he's gone. But you know, you gotta give the man credit when he makes a song about himself called Bad. If you remember his 1987 album Bad, basically you gotta give him his credit. That man made a song called Bad, basically saying, you could call me a square, you could call me a punk, you could call me whatever you want, but you know I'm bad. You know what I mean? And that takes a lot of guts and hearts to make a song about yourself like that called Bad, because he was a bad motherfucker. You know what I mean? And you got to admit it. Michael Jackson was bad, just like the song said. I could still remember going to Disneyland to see Captain EO. I must have seen that movie like 3 times that day we were there. You know, because of the 3D effects, and it was just tight. It was just overall sick, you know what I mean? But, you know, like I said, whatever you thought of him, of his supposedly child molestation, of his skin, which was all, you know, bleached out, or maybe he had a skin problem. I'm not sure, you know, his 100,000 fucking surgeries he had done on his nose, and his basically weird, grotesque looking self of later. You know, whatever you thought of the man, you still gotta admit, he was a living legend of music of our times, man. And you know, he's gone, and you know, rest in peace, Michael Jackson. My heart goes out to your family, you know. And, yeah, man, I continue bumping Michael Jackson to this day, you know. But that's all I really have to say. This is Jay the Wanderer with Oakland Latinos signing out. Late.